Lockhart and was trying to gain the extra points for defense against the dark arts next year.
I think that our theories could work together, James. I think that Dumbledore probably did want somebody to watch Lockhart, because at this point, Lockhart's a fucking train wreck.
Big liability.
Yeah. And so I could totally buy Dumbledore having Snape watch him to make sure nothing gets fucked up, and Snape wanting to do that because he wants that job, and also being able to relish in the fact that I might be able to take a shot at old Gildy, especially in front of all the kids, and have it be something that was totally fine.
Something he asked me to do, even.
Right. And so, and he's like, all right, well, he's going to help me demonstrate this to all of you. And Snape, they bow to each other, right? And then on 3, they cast. And the rule is that they're not aiming to kill. They're just going to disarm.
Ron makes a comment real quick. Wouldn't it be awesome if they just took each other out right now?
Right.
Get rid of both of them. Be done with our problems.
That would certainly solve a lot.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So he cries Expelliarmus. Gildy goes flying into the wall, and all the Slytherins cheer, and Hermione, of course, she was worried.
Yeah.
But he fucking blasts him, man.
Yeah, right into the wall.
I feel like Snape, who should have a pretty good grasp on this whole dueling thing, he seems like a guy who knows how to get some shit done, right?
Yeah.
If he's dark, twisted, and evil, fine, but he seems like he's capable.
Yeah.
And Lockhart doesn't. So I feel like he was like showing him almost. He's been waiting to do this. Like, hey, fuck you, man. You really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And Snape knows it.
Let me show you up in front of everybody real quick.
Right.
Lockhart starts talking shit. Of course you did what you just did. I knew exactly what you were gonna do, and it would have been so easy to have blocked you, but I wanted to show them that if I didn't block you, that's what would happen if that spell hit me. He's a big shit talker.
I was gonna say, you might have known what was coming, but you didn't stop it.
Yeah. But it does piss Snape off, because I think he did want to be like, fuck you to him in front of everybody, and Gildy finds a way to just have it roll off his back. And then he decides to pair everybody off, though, because he, I think, has had enough of Snape's, aggression for a minute.
Right. He'll get the attention away from him and Snape dueling.
Right.
And onto the children.
Snape gets to Harry first, and he splits him and Ron up. Ron ends up with Seamus, and Harry with Malfoy. And I feel like Ron and Seamus is just as volatile of a couple, because Seamus likes to blow shit up, and Ron has a broken wand. So, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that's not good.
Nothing good can come out of that mix.
No. Hermione's with Bulstrode, and Neville's with Justin.
Okay, Harry makes a comment that Bulstrode reminds him of a girl he's seen in Holidays with Hags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that like a wizard playboy or something?
He, I think, was trying to make a joke about her looking like a hag.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to make take a shot at how she looked.
But they're still looking at a magazine called Holiday with Hags.
No, it's one of Lockhart's books.
That's what a hag looks like.
An old witch. Okay.
Not attractive.
Not
that
attractive.
one's got her boobies out. All right. Not safe for work. Okay.
Did you like that?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, Gildy told everybody to face each other and bow. On 3, cast to disarm only, but Malfoy started on 2. He hit Harry hard with a spell, like on the head. It didn't really say what it was. And Harry came back with Rictum Sceptra, which hit Malfoy in the stomach. He doubles over laughing because it's a tickling spell, which I feel like would be the perfect spell to fuck with Nate.
That would be the worst thing in the history of ever.
Yeah,
a tickling spell. The only thing worse than a tickling spell would be like a giant spider spell.
Harry thought it was going to be unsporting to hit Malfoy while he was down, But he should have, because Harry hit him with a spell, jerking his legs out of control. I think it was jelly legs.
Jelly legs. Yeah, well, how innocent are both of these? Ooh, I'm gonna tickle you, and I'm gonna make you dance. Now, each of them would have their downsides, obviously. Harry's not in control of what half of his body is doing, and neither is Malfoy, but nobody's really getting hurt.
Right. Now, Harry hasn't used Expelliarmus yet, right?
Right.
So, they are learning it here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I just thought that was interesting because this is Harry's first dueling thing, and he's using the tickling spell.
Yeah. It is kind of a through line in the book. Harry really likes Expelliarmus.
Yeah.
It's like his favorite thing.
Yeah. Maybe drink every time you hear Expelliarmus. From now
Yeah.
Speaking of drink, mine is a little empty. So I think we're going to take another break. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. So, at this point, Gildy tries to get a hold of the room, and he can't. He's yelling, "Stop, stop, stop." Snape actually does something productive, and says, "Finet incantatem," or something along those lines. I'm not really good at Latin or spells.
Finish incantation?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
End incantation, something like that?
Yeah. The room had been chaos. And I think Seamus is on the ground. Ron's helping him up after whatever his broken wand did. Hermione and Millicent are, like, fighting. Millicent has Hermione in, like, a headlock. And it's a whole thing. Harry has to break them up.
Yeah, they got rid of the wands and they just started scrapping.
Yeah. Gildy walks through and he says, "Maybe I should teach you how to block. Because this whole fucking lesson is a huge mess."
Yeah, everybody's attacking. So this is pretty much my number one complaint about this whole thing that happened. Gildy's job is defense against the dark arts.
Mm-hmm.
He has not taught them a defense spell.
Not even one. No, you're right.
They've had lesson after lesson after lesson about all the cool shit that he's done in history, and he hasn't taught them a defense spell yet. He didn't do the one thing his job basically has in the title.
No, you're absolutely right. And this whole thing is a mess. If you're trying to teach a dueling club of any kind, this is not how you go about it. In any way.
No, I think you would have to teach, this is how you attack. This is how you defend. Practice both of these. Okay, now let's try it in like a live session.
Yeah, against each other.
Right.
He tries to pick Neville and Justin to demonstrate, but Snape's like, "Nah, don't pick them. Neville will fuck it up." 'Cause he's an asshole. Don't ever forget that Snape is an asshole. Sometimes people forget. And this is my PSA for the week. This moment here, where he fucks with Neville and is just like, "Oh yeah, Neville will fuck it up and Justin will be in the hospital wing." Foreshadowing. But also, this is a dick move. He did not have to fuck with Neville's self-confidence.
No, I agree. That was kind of a low blow, even for Snape.
Right. Sometimes people are like, "Oh no, he's misunderstood." He's not. He's an ass. Okay? And then they decide to pick Harry and Malfoy instead.
So, Gildy tries to show Harry how to do an actual block. But when he does, he kind of mumbles the incantation and drops his wand. So at that point, Snape instructs Malfoy. He whispers something into his ear.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say what he says, but probably giving him a spell to use.
Harry gets a little nervous and Malfoy starts, "Oh yeah, you scared?" And Harry's like, "Oh yeah, you wish." And then they go to square off.
He says you wish, but the best comeback would have been like, "No, the last time I dueled you, you didn't show up."
Bitch!
I'm not afraid.
But then Malfoy raises his wand and whips out Sepensortia or some bullshit.
Sepensortia.
and a snake fucking pops out of his wand. So, I don't know if Snape told him to do this or not, but what kind of bullshit is Snape like, hey, you should sick a snake on him. That'll be fun.
Right, we're going from disarm only
Right.
to brutal snake attack.
Right.
Angry snake attack.
All the kids are screaming, and Snape is like lazily like, I'll take care of it. Which, yeah, we know that you know how to handle it because you told Malfoy to do it, you dickbag.
Right, this was your idea, obviously.
But Gildy steps in and pisses it off.
The snake goes after Justin, Finch Fletchy. Harry starts talking to the snake because the snake starts looking at Justin like it's going to go after him. And Harry starts speaking in a weird dialect no one knows. Everybody is freaked out because no one understands what he's saying, and it looks like he's sicking the snake on him rather than taming the snake away. So everybody freaks out about it.
Justin takes off, and Ron grabs Harry and gets him back to the common room as fast as possible. This is where Ron starts asking Harry, why didn't you tell us about your parcel tongue? I really believe at this point, Harry really hasn't told them a whole lot about himself. We talked earlier, was it this book, about how he hasn't really told them a whole lot about his living situation?
Right, Harry hasn't really told them about living underneath the stairs or anything like that. They're not fully aware. Ron may have an idea with his brothers because they did break him out of a room that has iron bars across the window. But if that was a second story, it's not entirely unheard of for that to be a thing on houses, so they could have been decorative, quote unquote, so to speak.
I feel like Harry rides this weird line of not knowing and also not telling, you know?
Yeah, that's very true.
So they ask him about it. He's like, oh yeah, I didn't know that's what it was called, but yeah, I totally talked to fucking snakes. It's not a big deal. I'm sure lots of people do it. I sicked a boa constrictor on my cousin at the zoo. Not a big deal. And Ron and Hermione obviously think it was.
Yeah, Ron says, of course it's fucking bad. It's not common at all. He's like, just,
Don't be.
oh, yeah. Harry starts getting mad and he says, Justin is safe because I told the snake to back off. And they tell him, well, we didn't really see it that way. It looked like you were egging it on.
Nobody could understand you, and it was fucking creepy. 'Kay, bud?
Right, but that would be weird if to Harry you were speaking regular. Good old American. Or for our friends overseas, English, I guess.
Yeah.
And everybody else heard something else, but you're like, no, I spoke regular language to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Something we're all used to hearing, and you all heard something else, but that's not what I actually said. That would be pretty disorienting.
Especially when nothing bad happened after you said it. Like, I feel like I would be very frustrated too. Like, did you see it lay down after I said the thing I said?
Right, it backed off.
Hermione tells him it is a big deal because Slytherin kind of was famous for talking to snakes. That's why snakes are Slytherin House's symbol.
Salazar Slytherin was a parcel tongue.
And now everybody's going to think you're fucking related. Harry's like, well, I'm not. And Hermione says, for all they know, I mean, you really could be.
And
We're talking about a long-ass time ago. Anybody could be related.
I felt like she was so bitchy right there, though. Like, you'll have a hard time proving it.
And, I mean, you could see that coming from her. She's not a pureblood. She knows she's not.
So she's kind of like, maybe not spitefully, but also a little bit being like, well, fuck you. Yeah, you don't know, do ya?
After a few chapters, I'm finally in the clear. So fuck all you purebloods and your issues.
Yeah.
One of you is related to the Slytherin dude. I'm definitely not, because his whole thing was purebloods, not
Right.
me.
You could be a Muggleborn, or you could be related to Slytherin.
Right.
Harry laid awake all that night, trying to speak Parseltongue, and thinking about how the Sorting Hat tried to put him in Slytherin, and he had to argue for Gryffindor.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Harry at this point feels like he should be in Slytherin.
And maybe he should be.
But the Sorting Hat's never wrong.
The Sorting Hat listened to an 11-year-old.